Hey, I actually want to apologize for the ridiculous amount of time that has passed since my last entry. That Baroness person predictably flaked. In fact, Baroness blocked me after I sent a few emails trying to hurry them up, as if I were on a deadline. Anyway, at the time, it seemed like it would be fun for once to sound like a complete lunatic myself by having someone else write for me. Alas, the lunatic put me on ignore. But who's the real lunatic? Anyway, I'm making this as I let my car warm up outside. There's ice all over the windshield, and I've predicted that it'll take at least 15 minutes for it to defrost. And speaking of predictions, I'm not making any about the primaries, but I will say that if it's Hillary, be warned that by the time the elections get here, her conservative support will triple as she begins to talk about how the troop surge is working and recall to the fact that she's never supported a timed withdrawal. She'll offer up all kinds of crap about finishing the job, or in other words, begin to sound like the really clever politician that she is. Take healthcare, for example. Universal doesn't mean free, despite the impression you may get from the people at those rallies who let out those googly-eyed screams when she says it. Where are these rallies anyway? Are they by chance being held at a compound? Anyway, yep, the Democrats want to help fight the insurance monster by making sure everyone has it and by forcing you to buy it from these same insurance monsters and penalizing you if you don't. The Republicans say no such thing, though to their own fault, I guess, because I suppose they want you to practice personal responsibility. But so do the Democrats, and it's no secret that the Democrats actually want to force you into personal responsibility. It's funny that Republicans are seen as standing for big business, which they do, and the Democrats are the fight for the power types, which they aren't. Anyway, as we get closer to the actual presidential race, I may go into detail about the parties and candidates. Until then, at least right now, I want to talk about AIDS. I heard recently that a respectable body of scientists, and I've forgotten who, and it's irrelevant because these statistics are easy to find, quit being lazy, stated that the AIDS epidemic isn't as bad as predicted, and what's more, considering the means of transmission, isn't really an epidemic at all. Basically, before you all rip your hair out in anticipation of screaming at me, check this out. These scientists, as I could foresee the article going, stated that children and adults who die of septic-related problems anywhere in the world outnumber AIDS patients some 3 to 1. Now that's just patients, not the ones who actually die, leaving a mortality ratio of some 10 to 1 because we can't provide clean water. Well, that was the thing. With this millions of dollars going into global AIDS research, a fraction of it could fix water and septic-related infrastructure and save millions of lives by preventing cholera and dehydration, also cutting down on malaria. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because some retarded journalists out there made the statement that G.W. Bush's legacy will be the millions of dollars he contributed to the global AIDS epidemic. But I don't want to bash Bush. I want to highlight the fact that few actually benefit from this money, as the funds do not allocate for behavior modification, and it seems that the money is going right back up the ladder to corporations who are conducting this research. It's another case of people in charge playing these commercials to show you they care, and someone like me is crucified for downplaying AIDS or calling Israelis terrorists. Doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. It means I'm educated and understand the difference between an Israeli and a Jew, an epidemic and an STD, global warming, and climate change. Interestingly, the real victims of AIDS got it from big corporations that lack the oversight to screen blood donors. Now for my new invention. Watching the last Democratic debate was very exhausting for me, as they all are, but it prompted me to invent a new game. I call it the imperative drinking game. Every time Hillary or Obama says the word imperative, you must take a shot of liquor. Now, you pussies who think a drinking game can involve beer are barred from playing. It must be liquor. Go to a keg stand or something. Anyway, you'll be absolutely ripped when it's over. Enjoy.